Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to HealMyTajweed, helping you read. So inshallah today we are going to be showing you our setup for what we believe to be the madrasa of the future, or at least on the way to becoming the madrasa of the future, with my combined 5 years of experience from teaching and also 5 years of experience from tech. So sit back while I give you a new orientation for our new students and for future students while we prepare you for success from day one. Before we continue, please remember to smash that like button, give me a comment, and also consider subscribing to our channel so you can be notified for future videos. Jazakallahu khairan. Now, in today's presentation, we're going to cover 7 topics. The first one is going to show you the platforms that we're going to be teaching from. Number 2, we're going to introduce you to our current team, including the teachers and the helpers. Number 3, we're going to show you how we want to communicate with you and how we want you to communicate with us. Number 4, we're going to give you an outline of our whole course structure so you know exactly what to expect in terms of what you're going to learn with us, and hopefully also the time frame you're going to do that. Number 5, we're going to introduce you to the new feature. Well, not new feature, but it's a feature from Google. It's called Google Classroom. It's really handy. It's free for institutions, for individuals, and we've integrated it into our madrasa because there are secondary schools and primary schools who have started using it, and it's really handy to give out assignments, and it is really useful tool to be able to utilize. Now, the advantage we're going to have is some primary schools, some very young students like 5, 6, 7, 8 are not even using that just yet. So if we start presenting this and using this in our madrasa, these kids now have an advantage when they come to later stages. They already know how to use Google Classroom. Number 6, we're going to show you our teaching and learning methods, including what we expect you to do both in class and at home, including for the parents as well. And number 7, we're going to open the platform for some question and answers, inshallah. By the way, this icon is Google Slides, and I'm using this to present this specific topic. So inshallah, in the near future, when I give you an assignment, you should be able to use similar. You can use other PowerPoint applications like from Microsoft, but Google Slides is good enough, and it's free, and it's integrated in Google Classroom, so it's really handy, inshallah. Right, moving on. So the first platform we're going to be teaching and learning from is obviously YouTube. Okay, this is where I started to put up all my lessons for free. By the way, anyone who wish to join us, they can do so in our madrasa because we have lessons for children and adults. But for those who may not want to join us, all our lessons are going to be on YouTube, free. And it's going to be in a structured order. It's going to be under different series categories, and also you can access this anytime from anywhere in the world, inshallah. And in the future, we will try to live stream most, if not all, of our classes once we sort out our fiber optic broadband. So obviously our YouTube channel name is called HealMyTajweed. You know it. We could click on this to go to the channel I'm going to show you. Now, if you're on YouTube, obviously you know that there are plenty of videos. Sometimes it's all over the place. Okay, but what we're going to focus on, if you do come to my channel, go to playlist, and there are a few categories, but there are 3 main ones I want you to focus on for this course, for our madrasa. By all means, you can watch the rest. If you go back to my slides, you will see that for the next one, the first series is going to be Juz Amma, and then Your Tajweed Made Easy, and How to Study Tajweed series. These are the 3 which we have currently, and there's going to be an upcoming one which is going to be a Qa'ida series. It's going to be called Ahsan al-Qawaid, and I will talk about this later, inshallah. So let's go to Juz Amma to start with. Now, Juz Amma, this series is a previous 11 uploads that I've done. It's to do with basically taking one rule from Juz Amma, from Surah An-Nas up until Surah Al-Fil. One rule, one lesson, one surah. Okay, I started this quite a while ago, and it's not complete yet. I've reached to 10 lessons in Surah Al-Fil, but I will continue this, inshallah. This series is for those who have done Qa'ida, they know the makhraj, they know some sifa, and they're now on Quran from Juz Amma. It will help them to try and correct, inshallah, their lessons. Okay, now going back to our next series, Your Tajweed Made Easy is a parallel series to this one. and it's this one, Your Tajweed Made Easy. Now this series is a complete series I've done with some adult students, and we have covered the whole of Your Tajweed Made Easy book. I did film all of it. Unfortunately, not everything has been uploaded yet. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons so far on YouTube. The rest is on my computer waiting to be uploaded, inshallah. So this series I have gone through, this is following the structure of Your Tajweed Made Easy book, which we use for some of our basic tajweed rules. The first 2 lessons, articulation of Arabic letters, general and specific, is something that every student have to do, and I will talk about this later, inshallah. Okay. The third category of how to study tajweed is generally some general tips and strategy that we're going to talk about in terms of how to study tajweed, how to study Quran generally. You can see one example on here, which is this, which we talked about. This is called How to Assess Any Quran Student. Okay. And the one that I like is called the Madina Mushaf. I'll show you. As you can see, you can play this straight on the Google Slides here. You can also watch this on YouTube. So these are general things which we give tips to anyone wishing to study Quran or Tajweed, whether it applies in our madrasa or not. It will still be helpful, inshallah. Okay. Now, the next platform we're going to be using for resources is our own website, which is HealMyTajweed.com. Okay. This is more snapshot. Let's go to that website. I'm going to show you what we mean. Now, this is quite a very simple website. I've used Squarespace for this, and it is not a professionally done website from my end, but it is a professional website from their end, if that makes sense. Now, I've just put this as information only. Home page will lend you to this, and there's about 4 categories. There's the YouTube videos here. There is the resources we're using. There is the Tajweed On Tour series, which you may know about. I'm going from masjid to masjid to create awareness of Tajweed and to correct at least Surah Al-Fatiha for everyone. We want to do a whole tour of UK for all the masajid who wish to receive us. And there's also a PayPal donation button. Now, this project, the Madrassah and the Tajweed On Tour, generally the YouTube thing, which is free for everyone, is doesn't come without cost. Obviously, we'd like you to support us by donating your time, money, and effort. If you click on this button, okay, it will take you straight to a PayPal page, which is paypal.me/HealMyTajweed. I'll put a link below. Inshallah, please do consider contributing, so it will help everyone and it will be considered as sadaqah jariyah for everyone, inshallah. Okay. Now, if we go back to our website, at the bottom here we have some just upcoming news. These are the various tours and courses I'm going to be doing in the future, inshallah. You can just basically have a look, and we're also looking for some teachers. Okay. Anyone who wish to enroll in our madrasa, there is an enroll now page where it takes you straight to our madrasa page to have the application form. So again, about is just some little mission statement from us, tajweed videos, and then this is just the YouTube videos really. The other videos is just the side stuff which we talk about some of the tips. This is one of my teachers, mashallah. This is Imam Yahya, and if you go to a madrasa page, you will see where we are located. Down here you can click to get the registration form. If you want to download this or pass it to other people, it's got all our conditions and everything, including also a media release form, because as you know, we are a media kind of present online education group as well. So sometimes we will want our students and parents to feature. So this will give us permission to use those footage, inshallah. Do consider it. Okay. And the more important bit that I want you to focus on is the resources aspect. On here, I'm going to be including more and more free resources for you to use, inshallah. This is the just a simple diagram of the makhraj letters, which you can use to refer. There will be more clear diagram in the future, inshallah. I've also included a copy of Ahsan al-Qawaid. This is the main qaida we're going to use for now. Okay. And if you don't have the hard copy, you can buy one from Azhar Academy close to us. But this has got all the lessons. We're going to use it. You can use it too as a reference point, inshallah. Your Tajweed Made Easy, which I talked about earlier, is the main current Tajweed book we're using. It's quite simple. It's not complete, but it does help to have an awareness and introduction for Tajweed. Okay, this is what I talked about in terms of using the lessons 1 to 25, I believe, to a complete series of Your Tajweed Made Easy. And moving on, I've also included a copy of Tajweed Rules of the Quran. This is a very extensive Tajweed book. This is for advanced students. I have studied from this as well in English language. It's one of the best, probably the best book to study from for Tajweed. It's quite comprehensive. So if you want to refer to it, by all means, you can do so. However, it's got quite a lot of terminologies which you will not understand unless if you sit with a teacher, but by all means you can use this as a reference point even for things like assignments, inshallah. And this is our Islamic education series. I'm going to talk about this later, but we've included this in our Google Drive. And I've also included a copy of Fortress of the Muslim. Like you know, this is a very good book. It contains all the du'as for authentic Quran and Sunnah, everything you need as a reference point. The du'as that we're going to go through is also in the previous book, which is the Islamic series education, but this is more focused as everything, whereas this one, the Islamic education, is more a broader Islamic series where it contains everything, including du'as. Now I've also included a copy of a very good book on fiqh. This is called A Summary of Islamic Jurisprudence by Dr. Salih Al-Fawzan. I believe this was translated by from the original work, which was Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, if I'm not mistaken. And it deals with the 5 main pillars of Islam, which is obviously the Shahada and the other 4 acts. So it starts with purification and the Salah and Zakah and fasting and Hajj, etc. It's a very good book to study from as well as a reference point. It's quite authentic. Obviously you need a teacher to go through some of the things. There may be some differences of opinion, but generally it's a good book, alhamdulillah. And I've also included some links to external resources that you're going to need to be able to have a complete kind of approach to studying Islam, whatever the topic may be, starting with a link for Medina Arabic. I'll talk about this later. This will take you to this page. This is based on the Medina books, which is very, very popular. These lessons have gone through before with people. It's very kind of kid friendly, I would say. It's very easy to follow, inshallah. There's also another series which I would recommend if you want to understand a bit of Arabic, which is called Understand Quran and Salah the Easy Way. This will take you to a YouTube page whereby these brothers have improved the animation a lot. This is from Quran Academy. Okay, this will help you to understand words from the Quran, which is the most used words, like they're saying here. And for example, if you learn these 125 words, they repeat 40,000 times in the Quran, which is really helpful. It focuses on Quran and Salah terminologies, inshallah. Obviously, bottom there you have also some copies of the Medina Mushaf. If you want to use this, you need Flash to be able to run this, so please consider installing or allowing Flash. Now this is copies of various types of Medina Mushaf. It is kind of interactive. You can open it and you can zoom in if you wish to read, and then you can zoom back, return. So there's all kinds of different copies here. Please pick the one that you follow. Ideally you want to pick one which is close to the app that you also follow from. Okay. House of Quran is a website / app that I recommend. You can use others, but this is very good to learn from various reciters, practice your lesson. This also has a memorization tool. I do recommend you tinker with it, so you can learn it, inshallah. Okay. And if you are looking for a full Hifz course online, there's one that I recommend, which is called the Global Quran Memorization Center. It is a sub organization from Islamic Online University. So this is the link. You can check them out, inshallah. And if you want to take your Islamic studies much more seriously to a bigger level, diploma, degree, master's level, including dual program, you can check out Islamic Online University, and they have, mashallah, quite good resources. I have studied from them. I'm still studying. I've taken a break for now, but there is no tuition fees, and they have various kind of programs, including some secular studies as well, inshallah. They do have a kind of admin fee per term. That's it, but there's no tuition fees, and their degrees are accredited, alhamdulillah. Okay, so that is in terms of the resources. Obviously, the rest of the website is just about, I've kind of started a blog, but it doesn't really, there's only one topic on there for now, but inshallah we'll continue. Now go back to our Google slide presentation. So the next platform that we said that how you're going to be, what we're going to teach from and learn from, so basically YouTube, any other YouTube videos, any other channels which is authentic, which is teaching Tajweed and Islamic studies, feel free to use that. You should actually try to use a few that you prefer, but make sure they are authentic. Okay, be aware of the the kind of non-established Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah channels, because there are some as well. If you're in doubt, you can ask us. There are also what we mentioned, House of Quran, which is the app that I've just mentioned, I've showed you, where it has the memorization tool. And of course, there are your smartphone apps that for me on Android, I like to use this one called Quran for Android. Okay, but if you're using iOS, find your equivalent. But the idea is you're trying to use a copy which is very similar or the same as the physical hard copy of the Quran that you are using. And any other tool you feel necessary that you will learn from, as long as it's authentic, then by all means please use them, inshallah. Now let's introduce you to our team. Myself, my name is Ashik. You know who I am. I teach Tajweed. I'm a student of Tajweed. I also have a tech channel called HealMyTech. You can check it out and give me some love there, inshallah. I'm the main current teacher, right? Male. Obviously this is probably in a few months, few years, I'll lose all my hair. Okay. We are looking for other qualified teachers and teacher assistants to join us. At the moment, we are okay. We don't need more right now, but when we get more students, it will become a bit unmanageable. But inshallah, hopefully make dua, we can find people. We're also looking for specific specialists in Hifz and Arabic, and I will talk about this a bit more later. The Hifz, right now we're not doing full Hifz as in morning and afternoon. I'll speak about that later, but we can prepare everyone for Hifz, at least about 5 juz from the back, and we can start from Baqarah, but we will need a full structure for full Hifz, inshallah. Now currently upstairs we have 2 female teachers, and like downstairs, we are looking for further qualified female teachers to join us, inshallah. At the moment, I'm taking responsibility because we are segregated. We communicate through, like you can see, microphones. We have walkie-talkies, and we don't need to physically mingle with them. But inshallah, we will try to find the right teachers, and it's very hard to do so. When we do find the right teachers for upstairs, I will not need to teach anymore from down here, although at the moment we're teaching the whole class, but alhamdulillah, we're keeping it Islamically segregated. Now, communication, how are we going to communicate with you? Like we have a group on WhatsApp called HealMyTajweed Madrassah, and I send all the messages and information, homework, any kind of messages only to do with the madrasa, nothing else, inshallah. And please make sure that you are on our WhatsApp group. This is very handy. Okay, you can also contact me on there, except if it's for anything personal, then obviously you can always direct message me, but anything to do with madrasa, always go through the WhatsApp group. Second, you may know this icon. This is the Google Classroom icon. On there, there's a stream which we will address to all our students and teachers together. So there will be announcements, updates, etc. So please also remember to check that out. Third, we will communicate with you by email, and would like you to also send us emails if you need to. Obviously, our email address is HealMyTajweed@gmail.com. Fourth, we're also going to call you when we need to, so also you can expect to call us anytime that you need, except please try not to call us during madrasa time unless there's emergencies, because we will not be able to answer you. And fifth, sometimes we'll feel that we probably need to meet you one-to-one or one-to-two, whatever the case is, respecting the Islamic segregation. So we'll do that when we feel, and you can request to meet with us as well. And all this to tell you that we are trying to reduce the need to print paper, because we're going to try to go green. That's one aspect of it. Think before you print, correct? But also because the future is online, everything is going online, so we might as well just join them, and inshallah it will reduce a lot of work. Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, number 4, our course structure. So we're starting with the qaida, and currently we're going to use ahsan al-qawaid. This is the main qaida, and whether you are starting with us, whether you've never studied Tajweed before, or you're on Quran, regardless of anything, you will need to do the makhraj lesson, which we've already set in Google Classroom for the first batch of students who joined us in September 2018. And there are 2 lessons. There's general and specific. All students must know the qaida in full, and the reason for that, even though you're on Quran, but you need to be able to know this qaida to be able to help or teach someone else. And that's the whole philosophy of HealMyTajweed. And we can go to Google Classroom, but I will show you this in more detail. Now, this is my side of it, Google Classroom. But if you are a student, this is what you're going to see instead. Obviously, when you join Google Classroom, you need to click on create or join class. Okay, you need to join class, and you need to use the code which I've given you. I'll show you in a bit. And this code, obviously, please don't give out to anyone. Okay, now let's see what is my next slide, because unless I'm going to show you, okay, that's the next slide. Okay, let's go back here then. Right, in Google Classroom, I will show you as a student what you're going to see. I've just logged in as my kind of different account, just to show you what it's like to be a student. Now, on the left here, you will see it says upcoming, woohoo, no work due in soon. So this just means that I haven't set any assignments, otherwise it will come here. Okay, this is the stream, the most updated message or communication assignment will always come up here. So when you join us, if you do join us, I do advise you go through the previous messages to see what you have missed. The thing I talked about earlier was about the articulation points, and I had set this as an early kind of group exercise assignment. So please make sure you do this. There is the general articulation points, okay? And then I also gave this one, which was the specific one, okay, which every students need to know about. And you can respond, you can answer back here or post messages, and the other students and teachers can also reply to you, inshallah. Now, for the classwork sections, I've divided it into various categories. There is the etiquettes, tajweed, and fasting, and all our future students should go back to them. They won't need to hand in the assignment per se, because the deadline would have passed, but I would expect them to know the topics. I may give them individual assignments just to assign them these, but it will be important for you to do that. Now let's take an example how you're going to have to set an assignment and hand it. So if you take what is the meaning of tajweed, for example, you see this is my account, it says missing. On yours, if you've passed a due date, it will say missing here. Okay, so you can still hand it in. We haven't decided on penalties yet, but that's for the future. So let me go and view the assignment. The assignment says, what is the meaning of tajweed? You can answer by writing, audio or video, or a combination of these media, no word limit. Please don't just copy and paste information without a source. You can rewrite the information if you wish, and the best answer and best student may be selected to appear on our website or YouTube to present the meaning of tajweed. Okay, that's kind of a little incentive we're trying to give them, just to be less camera shy, but inshallah, do consider it. So if you've got this kind of assignment, okay, there's a few ways you can hand the assignment in. You can click on here to add from a file which is on your Google Drive. You can add a link from a website. Let's say I've asked you to find some sort of reference or source. You can just click this link, or you can click here to add a file from your computer, which, let's say if it was this file, just add this, and that's it, you're done. You can just click on upload and your assignment is done. Okay, if you haven't got any file just yet, you haven't done your work just yet, you can use Google Apps. You go here on create, and here, like you can see, there's docs, documents, slides, which is PowerPoint, which is what I'm using for this presentation. There are sheets, which is Excel, and then there's drawings. Let's say you wanted to hand in the assignment as a drawing. You click on drawing. Okay, obviously depending on your speed, it will take a while, so we'll just put this one, Google Drawings. It will take you to Google Drawings. There you go. And you can decide to start, I don't know, make whatever you need to make. If I've asked you to do this, that's what you have to do. Okay, and you can save it. Once you've saved it, you can go here and just click on hand in, and this will go, inshallah, and that's it. You've done your assignment. Okay, I hope that's clear. And same thing, if you want to add an audio or video, like I told you, you can create it from any other app, and then you can put it on your computer and attach it, or you can put it on Google Drive. And if you go to Google Drive, for example, right now, if I wanted to, upload something on my drive, it could be any of these. I could upload as a as an assignment, like this one. I could upload this as an assignment. Okay, even audio files and video files. So inshallah, there are tutorials online for this, and some of the kids already know how to use this, so I'm sure they can help the other children. If your parents have any issues, come and see us or Google it, and it's quite easily managed, inshallah. Right, moving on. If we go back to our third part, so the third tab is going to be people. This is, you can see the current teachers, just me right now, the main teacher, and then there's all the students. Okay, by the way, please, when you do hand in an assignment, I would like you to put your name in the assignment as well, maybe on top in the top corner or somewhere, because here I can only see the username of the email, not the actual name sometimes. So inshallah, please remember to do this. I will try to add this as an instruction. Okay, so that's it for the Google Classroom. Going back to our course structure, let's move on to the next. Now, the qaida that we talked about currently, there's two parts to studying the qaida with us. The first part is we're going to cover all the lessons in succession from lessons 1 to 31. So what it means is, let's say Monday we do lesson 1. Okay, we will give you all the theory and a bit of practice, but there'll be more theory. What that means is we'll teach you in class. You now have to practice it in class with your friends. Go home. What we will do is upload the video, which we will record, and it will be there for you on YouTube. You use that to go through it again and practice at home again. And then when you come the next time, we are not going to wait for you to know the lesson fully in practice. We're going to do lesson 2 and then lesson 3, lesson 4 until we finish. This will take approximately 2.5 months. If you are really studious, if you follow all the instructions, you should be able to finish the qaida in 2.5 months if you do what we ask you to do. However, this is where part 2 comes in. Now in part 2, we've covered the whole of the qaida. You students know what's going to happen, what you expect to learn, and also the parents will know, and also all the videos is now going to be on YouTube as a separate series, inshallah. So now we're going to redo all the lessons individually and in groups with only correction, pure correction, which means now you should have an idea. You come and we're going to do a lot more practice, not much theory, because we're going to tell you if you don't remember the theory, go back to the video and watch it. Ask your friends, because you should have been studying it and making notes. Now we're just going to correct you, and the correction will include your own individual audio recording, inshallah. After you've done this, we're going to also cover a second qaida. This is because this is called the simple steps in Quran reading part 1 and 2. This is what we're using right now. We could use others because this is a different script. This is the Medina Mushaf script. Okay, if you have done the qaida, the first qaida, really well, you have been studying it and you have been passing, you should complete this qaida in about 1 to 2 weeks, because it's the same letters except the script is written a bit differently. In the future, make dua and help us. We're trying to redesign a qaida to merge both scripts into one book, so you won't have to be studying from 2 different types of books. The reason for this is that, like we want our students to be able to read from minimum 2 different types of script of the Quran. To the left, you have the Indo-Pak version, which most of us are used to. At least from the Indian subcontinent area. This is from An-Naba from Juz Amma. To the untrained eye, it doesn't seem like there's any difference. To the left in the green, this is a version of the Medina Mushaf. Again, Juz Amma. If you can't see properly, I do apologize, but you can check in a proper copy of the Quran. For example, even in the word Bismillah, the first alif here in the Indo-Pak version does not have a Hamzatul Wasl on the alif, whereas in the Medina Mushaf, we already have a Hamzatul Wasl. What is this, you may ask? This is important to know as a Tajweed rule, and reading from the Mushaf is much harder. It forces you to know all the Tajweed rules, inshallah, and all our students must be able to read from both. This is why we cover 2 qaridas, inshallah. Now continuing, so after the qarida, so when you move to Quran, inshallah, obviously the structure is you're going to do Juz Amma first from Surah An-Nas all the way to An-Naba, and you are also going to be studying your Tajweed Made Easy Tajweed rules, which is a combination of the book and the online videos, YouTube, inshallah. After this, you're going to do the second last juz, which is Juz Tabarak, starts with Surah Al-Mulk. And depending how you recite, I will assess whether you need to continue working from the back up to the last 5 juz. Or if you're really good and I see you're quite semi-independent, you will start after Juz 29, you will start straight from Surah Al-Baqarah and then do from cover to cover, inshallah. As a rule, our madrasa, every student, when they come to Quran, they must do hifz of the whole of Juz Amma minimum. Okay, there is no set time limit for this, but I would like you to do the whole of Juz Amma. This is training for anyone who wants to do hifz in the future. And like I mentioned before, currently we do not have a full hifz program, because a full hifz program means morning and afternoon classes. But right now we can prepare most of the students until we find, inshallah, a specialist hifz teacher. Okay. Our course structure continues now. We're going to talk about Islamic Studies. We are going to use this book. This is a series of books from Darussalam production, and this is called Islamic Education. And this covers Aqidah, Fiqh, Sirah, Du'as, Adhkar, and Tafsir. And there are more stuff as well. Let's go to the book. We'll show you. Now, this is on our drives, also on our website. And this book is, mashallah, really good and really kid-friendly. Even if you were to study by yourself at home with your child, you can use this book, and it caters for all ages, 5 upwards, for I think 12 different levels. And it is so simple to follow. Okay, it also includes a lot of du'as and adhkar, but inshallah we're gonna cover this. It has some questions that test your knowledge, okay, and some kind of coloring for very young kids. A very good book. We're gonna stick to this, so we don't need to add other stuff. And if you have any issues with the content itself, I would suggest you contact the authors of the book. The details will be inside the book, but we're going to stick to this book. It makes it easier for everyone, and it's quite complete. I believe anyone who does study from it, alhamdulillah, they will be able to practice Islam without any problem, inshallah. Okay, now where were we? Course structure. Okay, now the 4th, Arabic. Now, unfortunately, you may not believe it, it is impossible to teach and learn Arabic language in an evening madrasa setting. Many have tried, everyone has failed, and I'm talking about an evening madrasa setting. However, we are looking for a specialist Arabic teacher to design or redesign a course specific for HealMyTajweed, right? And inshallah will come in the future. Someone is starting to work on that already. In the meantime, what I would suggest is this website called Medina Arabic website. I've talked about it before, and what we're going to do is I will not teach this as a course, as a lesson, but I will help any student who wants to go through it, because it is self kind of student centered and studied, and I will help them with it. So you will go at your own pace, and I will help you, but I will not teach it, because it's impossible to do so many varying levels of students and ages and understanding. Okay. However, I do recommend that you do learn some Arabic, which is focusing on Quran and Salat terminologies. One of it I would recommend is this one, called Understand Quran and Salat the Easy Way. Okay, this some brothers who from Quran Academy. I think I've mentioned this earlier, so please do study from them. It will help you in your salah and understand basic Arabic that you need. You'll recognize them when you recite the Quran, inshallah. Okay. Moving on. Okay, we've talked about the Google Classroom. I've showed you what it is. You do need a Gmail, and you need to be at least 13 years to be able to have your own account and access Google Classroom. So those who are not 13 yet, the parents can create one for them. I do recommend you use a Google account as opposed to others, although technically you could use others, but it will create a bit of complication. And Google has quite a lot of apps and features that will help you study, inshallah. And I've already showed you what to do when you click on this is the code. Please do not give it out to anyone. Okay. And if you want to join us, fine, you can use it. I will obviously, for this presentation I'm showing you right now, but on YouTube I will blur this out. And choose HealMyTajweed when you go to Google Classroom, and this is the direct link that will take you there. If you click on this, it will take you straight to the Google Classroom, inshallah. There you go. Okay. And on there, I've already talked to you about the stream and the classwork and the people tabs in there. Okay, I'm going ahead now. Teaching methods. Now, how we're going to teach? We are going to teach the first main teaching and learning is going to happen in class, during class, from the main teacher. Yeah, that's not really me, but you get the idea. And we will record, inshallah, all the lessons as much as possible and upload onto YouTube, so you'll have that lesson for you as a reference point when you go home, and for your parents and for anyone else who wants to learn Tajweed. I mentioned before, in the future I will try my best to live stream once we sort out the fiber optic issues, inshallah. Okay, now sometimes I will ask a student to be the teacher for a specific lesson for two reasons. One, I want to know whether that student has understood the lesson, and two, I'm training students to become teachers, inshallah, and that's the whole idea. Everyone should help each other. That's how we study here. That's our philosophy. Student to teacher in one day challenge. I've mentioned this before, inshallah. Additionally, we're gonna use any resources like other books, other videos, and other audio. We've already mentioned that. And any other additional online resources, including any other apps that we feel will benefit the learning. Okay, one key element of our madrasa, if by now you haven't figured out that, mashallah, we're quite unique and we're not just talking because we're already doing it, is our recording individual lessons aspect of it. Now, together with one of my recent adult student, he's gone back to India. He's an IT consultant. He's going to help me, inshallah, devise a proper professional program course for us and for the whole world to benefit. We have done a way so that we are using recording equipment and Google upload, so that within a couple of minutes after a child recites to me, before the end of the lesson, before they even go home, that recording is available for them on Google Drive, for them and for you, and it is secure, alhamdulillah. Let's go to it and we'll give an example. So here is 3 recording we've done as a test last time. As you can see, let's take this one. The way to know the file naming system is 01 is, for example, the first surah. So 01 surah Fatiha, it says here 01 surah Fatiha test Shazad. Okay, I will rename this probably more in this format, which is 001 Fatiha Sarah. So 001 is the first surah, Fatiha is surah Fatiha, Sarah S is the student name, and this is an imperfect recording. Okay, but for today we're going to use this as an example. Recite.
أعوذ بالله من
Not a-u, you said u. It is a-u, it's a ain.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن
Bismillahi, bottom throat ha.
بسم الله الرحمن
No.
بسم الله الرحمن.
You have to work on the ha, okay? Inshallah. Continue. Okay, like you can see, every mistake that the child will do or the student will do, we will correct it, on audio, and that file will be with you, inshallah. So you need to use this to correct. Okay, I would advise that once you get the audio, you download the file and save it, because just in case you may not be able to access the internet for later. Also, you can, in this way, you keep a record of your own kind of progress, inshallah. And we are going to use this to try and figure out if there are any issues with your child's learning. And because you will have this, I will expect you to pass the lesson much faster and much more easily and efficiently, inshallah. Okay. Now moving on. Right. Now, how we expect you to learn. You have to appreciate, alhamdulillah, the amount of support and features and teaching material and resources we are using. So we expect you to learn the following ways. Number one, you must learn as an individual on your own to practice and revise. Number two, you must learn in pair. I will usually pair students here. And you must learn in group when we do group learning. Okay. Number three, when you go home, you must learn with your parents or your siblings or whoever is available to help you practice. Even if they don't know Tajweed, but they can help supervise you, they can help you use resources, okay? Number four, you must use all our resources that we've given you, and you must use any additional resources that you can find, whether it's a book, it's an audio, it's a video, it's online, whatever, or even another teacher to help, okay? But make sure that all the learning is in accordance to what we're trying to teach, otherwise it will create confusion in your mind, okay? Now, this is really important. No excuses for not passing your lesson and for not learning. Now, all these resources that we've given you is additional, and we mean additional. It means many other madrasas, maybe not even most madrasas or no madrasa, does this kind of help and support and feature that they give to the students. Please do not ever come to class saying to me, sir, I didn't have my audio last night, so I couldn't practice, so I didn't do it, so I don't know my lesson. I will not accept this, because the audio is an additional help. Because the main learning is going to happen in class with the teacher, and you have to practice in class, and you have to practice at home with or without the audio or any of these other resources. This is not going to be an excuse, except obviously genuine excuse like major illness, major emergencies, which does not happen often. And please do not try and come and con me. Alhamdulillah, I have been given a ni'mah by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't try and con me, because I know when a student is being genuine, when they're trying to just pull a fast one on me. I will not accept excuses. You will risk either being suspended or even being kicked out if this is continuing. So please do not do this. Okay, no excuses. And number 6, I want you to prepare lessons ahead. Let's say you are on lesson 5 on Qarida, and if there is a video on lesson 6 and lesson 7, please prepare ahead. Don't wait for me to tell you. If you're a Quran student, even better. Let's say I've given you one surah to read, let's say Surah Al-Mutaffifin. There's no reason why you can't prepare the next surah coming up as well, because again, use all the resources. You need to be a good student, and this is how you're going to become a good student. Prepare ahead all the time. And number 7, you remember the etiquettes assignment we've done? Now, this is it. We will inshallah, rectify this a bit, but this is one student who handed this in as a group effort, okay? And please do go with the etiquettes, like what you're supposed to do before coming and during madrasa and after coming. Make sure you respect those, and we will put them as ground rules inshallah after we do a bit of correction on them, okay? There's a few other students have handed in theirs, but I'm just giving this as an example, inshallah. Okay, and finally we're going to open the floor for some question and answers. Part of our learning, if we ever don't know anything, we'll ask scholars, but this website called Islam QA is a really good website, mashallah. If you have any general fiqh, aqidah or other questions, and you can always check, there are quite beneficial knowledge in there with full referencing, and is as authentic as I can see, and is well known, alhamdulillah. Okay, So Jazakallahu khairan for staying till now. I'm really sorry this took a long time. We're now going to open the floor for questions and answers. I may not film this aspect of it, but if you feel that you have any questions, you can always write to me in the comment section below, or you can contact me on our various platforms. I would advise that do think twice before you want to join with us. Like you've seen, we are trying to create something a bit different, trying to respect traditional learning methods, but we're merging with modern tech to be a madrasa of the future, inshallah. So Jazakallahu khairan for staying till now. Like the video, subscribe, and leave us a comment. And also please consider donating to the project so we can help other people. Inshallah, in the future we want to be able to create free education for everyone, and I do need help in this project, whether it's for the madrasa or for the YouTube or for the platform. So consider giving me some help in whatever capacity you can, including financially, because we are using equipment to improve the overall quality of the teaching and learning. As always, this was a pleasure. This was Ashik from HealMyTajweed, helping you read. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.